we were always encouraged to go achieve what you wanted to.
You come from a very open-minded background, and you married into one too.
There is no better person than the one who has already gone through it.
Networking in Canada is the most important.
What postpartum is very important.
But it's not just the women who is going through all these challenges. There are also men out there.
We don't ask. We feel so guilty expressing those emotions.
Like nobody is there for support. You are just, dying inside us.
My dad was my biggest mentor.
Or are you doing anything good to the community?
Things you won't even imagine. It's a safe space.
So your main mission was basically for seniors and, to help them out.
I lost, but it gave me a good experience. It taught me a lot of things. It opened my door into politics.
Hello and welcome back to the Rai Connect. Stories that inspire, journeys that unite. I am Pranita.
And I'm Sakshata. Today we are celebrating a very special occasion, which is a Mother's Day. So first of all, happy Mother's Day to all incredible women out there. Whether you are a new mom or seasoned mom, today is all about you and the love, strength and selflessness you bring into this world every single day.
We are especially thrilled about today's episode as we have an extraordinary guest who is a mother to twins, someone who has gone above and beyond, not just for her family, but also towards the community. She's a true example of resilience, selflessness, and compassion. We cannot wait to hear her story.
So grab a cup of chai or coffee, take a moment to yourself and enjoy this heartfelt conversation dedicated to all superheroes out there who we call mom. So let's dive in and let's welcome Ayesha Sardar to the Rai Connect.
First of all, thank you for coming here, Ayesha, because this was something we were looking forward for, especially your episode.
Yeah.
Because I've been talking to Sakshata. Sakshata met you for the first time.
Yeah.
I met you for the first time, but knowing that you came from the same college as me and stuff, it was very fascinating, more than anything. And then plus I know that you've done a lot to the community. So basically, based on that, I think we'll start off.
But I want to say thank you so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure when you're talking, especially from people coming from your same background.
Yes.
I want to start off talking in Kannada right now, but I'm holding myself because it's going to a wider audience,
Yes.
right? I was talking to somebody and I said, I'm having this with somebody who speaks Kannada, and they were like, oh, please
Wow.
talk in Kannada. So I'm going to say Namaste ellarigu.
Oh.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಖುಷಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. So that means I'm so happy to talk to you today. So thank you so much for it.
Pleasure is ours, definitely. So let me start off where you come from and what made you come to Canada.
Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you too much into it. So we come from the same college, Bishop Cottons. I come from Bangalore. Got married to an IT guy.
Wow.
So his profession has taken us all over the world, which I enjoy, and he enjoys it too. No complaints there. We lived in South Africa. That was our quick stopover, I would say, before we moved to Canada. We lived there for 4.5 years. And then we were thinking of going back to India, but we both like cold temperatures. So what best than Canada, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say his profession mostly did that. And we like traveling. And Canada, when we came here, we loved the place. We wanted to put down our roots. Our kids were in schools. We decided, okay, let's stay here for some time. Yeah, you don't know what future holds, where we'll be going next. But for now, I'm here in Canada.
So how long ago was this? How many years you have been in Canada now?
9 years.
9
Wow.
years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that our kids are in senior school and hopefully they'll go into university, so it opens more doors for us to go travel more, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's always fascinating to hear, the why behind, every immigrant journey, right? I just want to ask, your upbringing or your back home experiences, how it has impacted your transition here in Canada.
So I come from a family where my parents were very open-minded. They always made sure that it's not just the son, but the daughters are given the equal footing that you need to do well in your whatever journey in your life. So we were always encouraged. I had an MBA in India. Now I have a MSc. And I have a paralegal degree. So we were always encouraged to go achieve what you want to do. They said there are no boundaries. There's nothing that is impossible for you. So it was always like, you want it, go get it. With that attitude, we were always doing what we wanted. So moving to Canada, it was not such a huge change for me, because thankfully I got married into a family where I was appreciated again. I was not given, but I was me and I could do anything I wanted to. But I see the difference. In India, you see the hierarchy, like, there are like different levels and stages. But in Canada, it's more of like a inclusive environment that you have with diversity. When it comes to, even in India you have, but you don't see so much diversity. It's only Indians in India. But here in Canada, there are so many immigrants. So there is diversity, inclusion, mental health, and the approach, I feel, is slightly different. You can, again, be anyone you want to be, but you need to work hard. Wherever it is, you just need to work hard. And I have tried to work hard. I started at the grassroots level and then made connections. Networking in Canada is the most important. That's what I'm going to tell everyone, all your viewers, that network, find the right places, who you want to meet, and it'll take you places.
I love when you said, you're being yourself before marriage, after marriage. And I think that's important for any women out there, right? So they should be able to do what they want, and be independent. And that's very important for anybody's, I think, mental health, or, just being yourself is very, very important, I would.
But some of us are blessed. It's already handed to us. But for the others, you know how the patriarchal society is. Like, they want them under their thumb. They want them to follow what they ask you to follow. And it gets difficult. But finding your own voice, it's still important. Life has changed from what it was. Women have become more upfront about their feelings. They don't care. I always say, I'm a psychologist as well. I do counseling. So I always tell women, if you have an expectation, verbalize it. Tell the other person what you need. Unless the other person knows what your expectations are, they probably might not land up there. But even after you've said that, they don't do it, then it's something that you have to think about.
Yeah, so communication is the key then,
Communication is the key.
Yeah. As you mentioned, like, you come from a very open-minded background, and, you married into one too. But I'm sure when you came to Canada, there were a number of challenges you faced. Would you want to talk, something about it?
When you come to a new country, where do you begin is the biggest question, right? There are hell a lot of resources in Canada which you can access. But as a new immigrant, as somebody who is just settling in, who is trying to find their footing, you don't know where to access those. So that was one of my issues. But having lived in different countries kind of helped me, because the first thing I check is like, what is the community offering? What is available? What is the government offering? Or what are the resources available close to where I am living? So I lived in Forest Hill initially, and we had this amazing community there. It was called North York Community House. So the first thing I did was I wanted to learn about the civic engagement there. I wanted to learn about how does the country work. I went and I took up the course for that. They have free courses. Like I said, the resources are available. You just need to know how to access them. So I took that course. It opened a lot of channels for me. It showed me, like, what a not-for-profit looks in Canada. If you want to continue counseling, what it looks like. With your education background, what you can do. It was a 3-month course, but for somebody who immediately starts working, they have like part-time or online courses or online information as well. And that's not the only community which has. Every other community. I live in Pickering now. You go to the city hall site, the city of Pickering, you can access all the resources that they have, who are offering, who are the not-for-profits. Or you have, again, civic engagement, that you can take a short course, which is in the evening. It'll tell you everything about what is available. So those are some of the things I did, which helped me. And it helped me open my own not-for-profit. It's called Public Allies. I help with mental health for seniors, battered women. I help with the minorities. And we do a lot of things, but at a grassroots level. And because it's depending on mental health and all that, it's very hush-hush. Like, we don't advertise it as much. We advertise when we are asking people to join. But after that, we don't have pictures and all that. So It's not difficult. You just need to know where to find it.
Mm-mm.
And if you don't know, there are people like us who are immigrants. Just reach out to us. I'm sure you wouldn't mind helping. Like, it's just an information that you have to give. I don't mind giving it to others. You can go on my Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, you can call me. I'm not going to share my phone number.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for
because,
sure.
yeah, because it has both pros and cons.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. But
Mhm.
it's available. Like,
Yeah.
go enjoy. Like, there are so many things.
Yeah.
You have Easter parades, you have Santa Claus parades, you have like city hall visits, like so many things. Go enjoy, see them, live them, and know them.
Yeah.
I think that is the sole purpose of our podcast as well, right? Like anybody who's watching this and any immigrant out there, not everybody is bold enough to come out and say, "Oh, I need help," right? But people like you who are saying, "Oh, I'm ready to offer help, so please come and ask me." That's a blessing, I would say, and it's your greatness that you're doing it. Yeah, so
it is.
yeah,
It
and I
is.
think as part of this podcast, we want to find people like you, and that's the whole reason we want to know about your journey. Hopefully there are people out there who are going through the similar challenges or anything. Hopefully that will help from your insights which you're giving.
Yeah,
So that,
absolutely.
yeah,
Take it
that's
away.
yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for that, and it's really interesting to see how those initial days and how you were curious about things and you went looking for those information, and it has really helped you in this journey, right?
Yeah, always a curious bunny, right?
No, for sure.
And you've studied in Bishop Conference.
Yes.
You know how they bring us up,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
They
exactly.
always say challenge things, be curious, like,
Yeah.
go research and do stuff.
Yeah. But the best thing for me, I felt when I spoke to you, right? Like I approached you through Instagram first, right?
Yes.
And then I sent you a message on WhatsApp because you
Yeah.
gave me your number.
So Aisha, we know like you have already spoken about it. You're into like multiple fields,
Yeah.
right? You're a therapist.
Mhm.
You're helping women entrepreneurs. Yeah, you're a community leader. You're also helping all those people who need help with the mental health. So all these things. So you stepping foot into all these variety of fields, was this always part of your plan, or did it just evolve as you progressed? How did that transition happen?
Like you said, one led to another. There was a need, and I had to fill the gap. Right? It was as easy as that. Like when you're doing mental health, when you're doing counseling, there are people who come to you who are asking for small business help, and having a degree, and when I know what can be done, like it easily transitions into that. Like I'm telling them, okay, you can do this, this, this. So my consulting business started like that, right? I do for companies, I do it for people like in career counseling, I do couples counseling. So there is always a need. And when I came to Canada, and I wanted to start a not for profit, and it had to do something about mental health. And when I saw seniors doing it, that was the first thing I did. Seniors, when I saw they were fighting for, what was the gap, that led to me running for election, because I wanted a seat on the table to voice their concerns, not my concerns, but their concerns. Like nobody is listening. They're trying to reach out. And what's the best way? Like I said, head on. Like, I bulldoze into everything. I woke up one day and I tell my husband, okay, I'm running tomorrow. I'm running for election. And he is so supportive. He doesn't even ask why. He's like, okay, when do you have to do it? Right? So it was like, it's always been like that. He understands if I'm saying something that it's for a reason. I transitioned into election because I saw these old people needed a voice and they couldn't fight for themselves. And then there was a community like the youth who needed help. There were women who needed help. So one led to another, because women needed help, and I was doing counseling. I thought, like, especially coming from South Asian community, like you said, I had a voice. I wanted them to have a voice. So we started Global South Asian Women. So it, like I said, one leads to another. And everything I'm doing, if you look at it, like mental health and community service. Community service, as I say, it's in my blood, because my dad was into community service and he was a politician. And so all of us, like all our siblings, we all are into it. he was my role model. Like, he helped people, and it's an innate desire to help them, be their advocate. I did that even in South Africa. I used to work with South African anxiety and depression group,
Oh, wow.
Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, and all of them. So wherever I've gone, I make it a point to go and give back something to the community. If all of us try that, the community is only going to grow and become better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So when you came here, right? So since you already you had an experience in this field in South Africa, it was easy for you to transition here, or did you have, like, because most of the time we generally have to, upskill ourselves here, right? When you come to a new country, did you have to upskill to get into these fields, or it was just through your community service and, or helping people that you got into this field?
So in South Africa, I didn't do much. In India, although, like, I had my MBA, and my dad, like I said, he was into community service. So we kind of were trained from when I was very little, we were trained how to take care of it, or how to give back to the community. But when I came to Canada, I wouldn't say I didn't do it, because I've taken some courses, I've done a few things. I go to these workshops that people do just to update myself in what is happening, what is currently happening in the community. And then, like I said, networking, attending events, being part of the community, meeting the right people, and being in touch with them to understand what is happening, right? So, like, I have friends from the council to the ministers to the staffs. I would say, like, everybody is amazing. They're all trying to do good for the community. Sometimes they might not be able to do what a particular person wants. You cannot please everyone.
Exactly. Yes.
But they're trying their best, right? In the process, they spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time in the community. You should ask my family. Sometimes I'm out at 8 o'clock in the night, and they're like, oh, you're out now? Because that's when the meetings happen, right? So I want to thank my family. I don't know. I feel like thanking them.
And without their support, nothing is possible. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, you advocate mental health, right? So what made you, like, what aspired you to get into the field of mental health and, help people in that field?
I have twin girls, and when you have twins, seriously, it hits you bad. And when that happened, I went through my postpartum depression. And again, you need a partner who understands it, who is supportive of you. At the same time, I sought help, and I thought to myself, nobody prepared me for this. Nobody prepares you for postpartum depression. It probably happens to everyone at different, levels of depression. I wouldn't call it depression, but yeah, at different levels. But you need to be prepared for that. So when I did that and I got help and I felt better, I was like, I want to do this. This is such an amazing job where you're helping people at the same time you're unwell. So I since then I did my master's in psychology, because I had time. I had twin kids, girls, and I wanted to be close to them. So I did my master's, and after that I started doing counseling. And every time somebody in my family or friends was pregnant, I told them, this is going to happen to you. Like, there will be times when you feel frustrated, you don't want to see your kids, which is absolutely fine. It's normal. If anybody says otherwise, don't listen to them. They've not lived a mother's life,
Absolutely.
right? So what you need to do is, like, detach. Give your kids to somebody who you know are going to take care of them, and just leave them for a couple of hours. You will come back loving them more. Have you experienced when the kids are sleeping, you love them more?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to wake them up. The way the cute sleeping, you're like, oh,
So
and then you
cute.
feel like, oh, I want to wake them
nice.
up. No, but no.
There have been times when I want them to go back into being those, toddlers, and I want to relive that life, because now I know how to manage it. Because slowly but surely, all those years taught me how to best manage kids along with everything that I do. And having the freedom, you're telling me I've done multiple things. It's because at each stage of my life, I've done something different, because I wanted to be close to them, but at the same time, I didn't want to spread myself thin. So I picked and I chose what I want to do, and I did that. And I am telling you, I have been so thankful. Touch wood, I'm touching the wood. It's been a it's been nice. It's been a wonderful life that I've had, and I want to thank everyone in it.
Yeah.
Like everyone who has passed through my life, I want to thank everyone for doing that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. So I was just wondering, like, do you think in India it would have been different? The postpartum, those phases would have been different for you, or when you're not in your home country and you're on your own in a new country, things are different here compared to back home.
I was in India when this happened to me.
I see.
So,
Okay,
like I told you, I've been blessed to
Yeah.
have people around who understand. So, when I explained this to my husband, he was not shocked. He, in fact, was very helpful, and he said, "Happens. You just go take some time off, and we'll take care of the kids." Or I had wonderful sisters who said, "We will take care of them." My dad used to take care of my kids and tell me, "You go have fun," like
Yeah.
not for too long, but at least
For a
just
bit.
when I went to my parents' house, my mom and dad would take care of the kids and let me sleep. That itself is such
Yes,
a
of course.
huge relief.
Yeah.
So it started there. I had help in India. If you like, you just need to ask for help. It's available.
Yes.
We don't ask. We feel so guilty expressing those emotions. Like, it's difficult for others to understand if you are not being upfront and confident in expressing what you are feeling. How can somebody else help you? Maybe they will surprise you, like my husband did
Yeah,
surprise me, right?
that's what I was going to say, because to have a partner who understands what postpartum is very important, because
it's a blessing.
yeah,
I
it's
would say.
definitely a blessing, and especially with the community where we come from, right?
Yeah.
I don't think depression, I mean, I wouldn't say depression as such, but depression, postpartum, anything to do with mental health is taken as a stigma,
Yeah.
and then what happens is nobody is there for support. You are just dying inside, I feel, right?
Yeah.
And for you to have somebody who you could express, and yes, as you said, being vocal about it is very, very important.
Yeah, and I think this is what we need to teach our kids, whether it's boys, girls, whoever it is. This is what we need to teach them. Just express your feelings. Don't keep them hidden. When you keep them hidden, the pressure builds up and it comes out one way or the other, and probably not in a nice way, right?
Absolutely.
So keep expressing them. So, like you're decluttering your emotions as well,
Yeah.
right? That is why you need counselors. That's why you need to come to me.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
See, I'm doing an advertisement.
And there's no better person than the one who has already gone
through it, right?
Those challenges, right?
No, I always say you need a therapist. Everybody needs a therapist.
Correct.
I have a therapist. Like,
Correct.
you need a therapist for a lot of reasons, but these are a few reasons I say. There are things that you can explain to your husband, but there are things that you don't want to talk to your husband about.
Yeah.
There are
Correct.
things that you don't want to talk about with your friends, but there are things that you will tell your friends.
Correct.
But with a therapist, you're an open book. You can tell them anything because the confidentiality is so high. It doesn't go out. You can express your deepest fears, your darkest secrets, anything, until and unless you're going to go stab somebody. That is fine. You can express everything, which is bad.
Yeah.
But that's where you went out. That's where you declutter, go out, and then you're fresh again, right? Like you declutter your closets, right?
Yeah.
Every time, and you get your fresh stock. So have a fresh stock. I seriously encourage everyone to go have a therapist, have somebody you can talk to. If you're telling me, "Oh, I talk to my friend," you're not telling everything. I know it.
Correct. No,
Yeah.
We always pick and choose what we want to
See?
tell.
Yeah.
And also I think many people think like we shouldn't be judged, or all those kinds of things come to us when we are talking to anyone, right? So that's always there, and the stigma around this mental health is always challenging, right? So
Although after COVID, it's kind of reduced a
Yeah.
little, right?
Yeah.
Everybody is open about depression,
Correct.
anxiety, loneliness.
correct.
Those are the things, stress and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And also I feel it's becoming more because of all these social media, also, right? Like people like you or anybody who has gone through it, they're openly talking about it, and it would have given courage to people out there, so they are also able to come and talk about it openly, because they know people support, and you will not be judged.
Yeah.
for anything you're, going through or anything you're feeling. So it is always good, and you must talk about it openly, I would say,
The
right?
quicker you get help,
Correct.
the quicker you can enjoy your life.
Correct.
The later you get help, you're putting everyone around you in trouble, because you're going to be sad, you're going to have mood swings, you will have fights, you will have like anger. Who does well with all those emotions?
Yeah.
No one. Instead of that, you get help, you're happy, positive, you're loving each other, and you don't have problems. Like, that's
Yeah.
the best way to live.
Yeah.
So for anybody, who's coming for help, who come to you, and for them to open up and, talk about themselves with you, do you use any strategies, any specific, like how do you deal with people? Do you have any example to share?
It's not a cookie cutter, because each person is different.
Right.
That, like, how they interact with you in the first meeting or the second one, they need to build that trust in you. Right? So probably the first couple of times they're judging you, they're gauging you, if they can trust you or not trust you. Many a times it has happened, especially with me. People open up very easily. Like, even if I'm not in a counseling session and I meet some friends, I have a lot of friends who tell me, I don't know why I open my mouth in front of you. But that's my profession. Like, it's not that I want them to tell me their secrets, but it's they start, and I'm a good listener. So they want to tell you everything, and probably because they know whatever they're speaking to me stays with me. It never goes out anywhere. So I think profession teaches you how to build this trust among people, and it becomes easy. Yeah, people who have come to me have never left unless and until I've asked them to leave.
Yeah. Also, you don't judge them. Probably that makes them more comfortable to come and open up to you, right?
Yeah, and when you're in that profession, I think that's how you should be. Like, otherwise, if you're judging anyone, then you're not fit to be in that
profession.
No, even in my everyday life, I try not to judge people.
Yeah.
I always say, like, they have a reason for what they're doing, and they know it better, and it's not affecting my life. As long as it doesn't affect my life, I'm like, until and unless you're stepping on somebody else's shoe or you're creating trouble for somebody else, live your life how you want to. You have to experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
Only then you will know what's good for you and what's not good for you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's different for everyone, right?
Yeah. So, since you are into, mental health, helping people and counseling them and stuff, how did you move to business consulting and mentorship?
So business consulting happened early.
Oh, before. Okay,
because
okay.
I had done my MBA and all
Right.
that. So I used to mentor people even in India.
Okay.
And I hadn't started business consulting because marriage, kids, and everything happened. And then we started traveling.
Okay.
So because my husband was into IT and we were traveling so much, I needed something where I didn't have to be present all the time. So business consulting, like, I started with helping a friend, and word of mouth spread. I don't take too many business consulting services and cases, but it has to be worth my time. Like, if it pays well, I'll take it. If it doesn't, then I have so many other things that I have my foot in. I strategize probably in November, like how many projects I'm going to take, what I'm going to do. So having that vision board, goal setting is really, really important. So I target like how many projects I'm going to take, how big the projects are. If there's somebody's already approached me, if I'm taking those, then I say, okay, I'm not going to take anything more than that. And I'm keeping myself available for my counseling, and I'm keeping myself available for my not-for-profit, for my all the other endeavors that I do. So it's not that difficult. So I started with that. And mentoring, like I said, it is part of everything that I do, like counseling and being in the community. So every time I get asked, like, do you want to facilitate this? I do facilitations. I do run programs for a lot of not-for-profits, like I do for Achieve, for their job search and cultural diversity, like how to get integrated into the culture in Canada. And then I've done it for cross culture something. I did it niche with North York Community House. And I have done it for Bishop Cotton and Montgomery College too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I do speeches, I do programs for all over the world, in fact. And so mentoring, it's part of it. of, like, I don't do one-on-one mentoring,
Yeah.
very little.
Mm-mm.
I do take interns for my not-for-profit, and I help them when it comes to social media or getting, ahead in life. People come learn, and I send their CVs out to people, and I give them referrals. A lot of them have gotten jobs because of that.
Nice.
They're working well, and they're happy and enjoying themselves. So yeah, it kind of everything is
Interrelates. Yes,
interrelated.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mentorship, it plays a key role in your personal and professional growth as well, right? So, well, talking about mentorship, so I want to know, do you have any mentors like that who has helped you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In every field,
Hmm.
I have not one or two, I have multiple mentors. Like, if I am in doubt, I know whom to reach out.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, my dad was my biggest mentor. He passed away, and now my siblings are my biggest, like, I'm in doubt, my brother is amazing, my sisters are amazing. They have so much wealth of knowledge, and they understand me, right? So going back to them, that helps. I have my teachers in Bishop Cottons. You must know, I am in constant touch with a couple of them, and I go back to them if it comes to something close to that. I have my husband, who is you should know, I call him Wikipedia. I have a t-shirt which says, I don't need Google because I have my husband.
That's sweet.
Yeah, because he is so knowledgeable, and you can talk to him for hours, and that was one of the conditions I had for marriage, right? I need to be able to speak to him all my life, not get bored.
Yeah.
So he's amazing. I have people here who are older to me, younger to me, it doesn't matter. With networking, I've developed a network where I can go back to them and I can ask. Like, if you're asking me, do you have somebody specifically, like one mentor? That would be my spouse, my husband. Like, there cannot be anyone better than him with so much knowledge. But I do have, like, a paralegal. I have my teachers, I have my professors, then I have my friends who have already done. I can always go back to them and I can ask. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing, right? When you have so many people in different fields, at least for you to reach out to, right?
Yeah.
So, is there any one you remember particularly you mentored somebody and, kind of they have succeeded and, become whatever they wanted to become in life?
Well, there are a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do mentor a lot of interns who come to me, right? So there's been one who worked with me for a long time. She wanted to write articles. Now she is with healthcare center where she's working. Then there was another one who also came from social media, and she was into IT, but I think for some time she tried everything else. And so, like, mentorship is again like counseling, right? You have to let the person decide for themselves.
Correct.
You cannot decide for them. You cannot show them the way. So that was interesting too. There have been business people. There have been people in careers I can't even talk about who have come to me, and I have mentored them, and I have tried to find, like, I have not found it, but I've helped them find the goals that they wanted to reach, right? Recently, I helped somebody who reached their goal, and they're so happy.
That's good.
It's somebody at a higher position,
Right.
but sometimes you're stuck in your career.
Absolutely.
So helping them,
Yeah, and also it's important that they something similar to you, right? So now you had mentors and now you're helping out others. So it's also important for them to do that and continue. I think that's when, like, the world will get better.
Yeah.
that's how it needs to be passed on.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do, and that's, I think, a lot of these values are put into us through our parents.
Yeah.
Right? What they have done, what we have seen them do, that's what we continue doing. So I want to thank my mom and dad as well, but for making me into who I am right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now let's talk about another interesting part, which is the Global South Asian Women.
Yes.
So you're also part of that, and for anybody who doesn't know about it, do you want to tell us, like, what the mission is of the Global South Asian Women, and how did you become part of that?
When you're living in a different country, right? you kind of, there's this sense of belonging which is lost. Like you don't understand, where do you belong? Do you belong here? Do you belong there? So I met a lot of people during my journey where, they didn't have that sense of belonging. Like they they were born here, they were brought up here, but they were Indians. So they were like, am I more of an Indian or a Canadian? Like I was born here, so should I behave like a Canadian or should I be? You don't have to. You're a mix of, like you say, breeds now, right? You're a Canadian Indian, so which is fine. And I think that's what happened with my kids. We started traveling early. They lived in South Africa, they lived in Canada. So do they identify themselves as Indians, Canadians, South Africans? Like, what is it? I said, you don't have to. You don't have to put a name to that, right? You're just living in the world. Imagine if there were no boundaries, right? What would happen?
Yeah.
So I want a world like that, where there are no boundaries, where nobody is stopping you. So that sense of belonging, I met so many people who didn't have that. And because I was counseling and I was into therapy, I wanted to build a safe space for South Asian women. They were going through a lot. They were like, we don't belong here, we don't have friends. So trying to bring them close to friends, trying to introduce them to each other. There are so many businesses during COVID. That's when I started this. During COVID, they didn't know what to do. Helped so many businesses go online, find their, some of them were at the verge of closing up. So we found help for them. We helped them, and we made sure that there is support where they need it, especially for South Asian women, because they don't know how to ask for help. They're struggling all the time. So look, we have some empowered women on that. We have lawyers, we have business women, we have like media personalities. It's amazing to see them thrive. We had to call it something. So I said, instead of calling it South Asian Women, call it Global South, because I help people in India as well. I help people in South Africa. I help people in Dubai. We have members from all over the world, which is amazing.
Correct.
So yeah,
It makes more sense
Yeah.
to call it
Global.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it
So
is a
you started it basically. You had a team.
yes. We were four of us. We were sitting one day and we were like, "Oh, these women come to help with us," and there were four directors. So we started it. Yeah, it continues. Let's see how long.
No, for sure.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting because helping the community, like as you said, there's a lot of, and as we were speaking, even while we were talking about mental health as well, there's a lot of people who cannot take the step to come out. And I think an initiative like this or a platform like this is very important for them to be able to approach, right? And as you said, it's so helpful during COVID that a lot of businesses were about to close, and make them go online and give them the help possible. Do you have any particular story that stands out?
During COVID, oh my God, I don't know. They're gonna kill me if I share it.
Maybe
There have been stories like businesses like restaurants. There have been businesses, clothing businesses, where women used to do it from home, and they wanted to shut it down. They went online. Now they're thriving. Like if you're asking me one, but there have been so many stories. Like I cannot pick one story where if you're going to come to the event, I can introduce you to so many people and you can hear it from them. I remember, I hope she won't mind me sharing it. There used to be a cafe in Pickering Town Center. So during COVID, I went for Valentine's Day with my husband, and we became friends, and we used to help her out, and she was very vocal about it. She always said, like, she always appreciated the help that we did during COVID for her. So that's one story. There was another clothing person who sometimes language is a barrier as well. Right. So they don't know how to get it done. So we helped them with getting it all digital. They were giving grants for digitalization, right? So we helped them get that and move them online. So that was another one. And with suicide and abuse, there have been a lot of cases. And even though we don't speak about it, we do help a lot of people. And that's how we want it. It's not about popularizing your group. It's about the right help to the right person at the right time.
Yes.
If we can do that, we are good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We are
And I
happy.
think we do have to talk about it because not many people are aware there are people like you who are doing this and who are helping, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that us talking about it, I'm sure, like, it'll help many others as well who are needing help.
I had this person who went through abuse, family abuse.
Oh.
She is quite vocal about it to a point where it was sexual abuse.
Oh, okay.
And I think she's writing a book about it. Maybe if she's
Mm.
interested, you could
Mm.
interview her,
Yeah.
and yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, people need to know it can happen at home.
Exactly. That's
People
very
need
true.
to know it can happen at her home from people who you don't even expect.
Correct.
So I feel bad for them. My heart goes out to them, but it's their story which they have to share,
Right.
Yes.
not mine.
Mm.
And there have been abuse. I'm not just talking about women. There have been men who have gone through the abuse
Yep.
as well.
Yeah.
It's difficult. But now, oh, amazing. They're enjoying their life. They're out of it. They're talking about it. And that's the best part. They're talking about
Yeah.
it, right? Imagine what they went through instead of being ashamed. Like, I don't know why anybody would make them feel ashamed. They didn't do the mistake. They were the victim in that,
Yeah.
right? So they don't have to feel ashamed. All of us around them have to be ashamed that we didn't see it happening,
Right.
right? That's the message you have to send people, that don't make the victim feel ashamed. They did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the reasons why they don't open up about what they're going
Yeah.
through.
Especially young
It's the
people,
society.
right? They feel like, oh, they were at fault. They did something to bring it upon themselves, right? They did nothing wrong. They do nothing wrong. It's the predator in in all of us,
Yeah.
which takes the best of us.
Yeah.
And you touched on one point that it's not just the women who is going through all
Yeah.
these challenges. There are also men out there, right? So, are there any groups which are helping men as well? Like, because we have this Global South Asian Women, I'm sure that is only focused on helping women and their, challenge issues, basically. Are
Yeah.
there anything out there which, men, they can take advantage of?
Yeah, in fact, I used to do webinars during COVID, where I've invited a lot of people like that who help out men as well. Public allies, mostly because I was a woman and I felt very close to women. I used to help women. I've got a lot of flack for that. People used to be like, why do you only help women? Do you think only women go through this? No, yeah, men go through it as well.
Yeah.
Men go through a lot of abuse, which we don't know because they don't share. They're supposed to be the strong people or whatever.
Yeah,
Macho
there's always a
or-
male ego out
Oh
there.
my God, talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So organizations which do, there is one in Ajax which is called Men to Matter. I was part of it for helping them strategize, to plan, and to do stuff for their programs. I've helped them create programs. There is another organization in GTA which is called Men's Shelter. It was run by Justin Trottier. They have it now in multiple cities actually, and he's doing well as well. So there is help available for men as well. And as public allies, now we have diversified and we are helping men, women, anyone who is going through abuse. Like, it's not a women's organization.
Right.
Global South Asian Women is a women's organization, but public allies is for everyone. We want to do more programs for men, but somewhere I feel like, there's a thought, as a woman myself, I will not understand what they're going through. So it is better for them to reach out to people they feel comfortable.
Just touching on to the Global South Asian Women, right? So I'm curious, like, what hopes do you have for the future of Global South Asian Women? And also, if anybody who is interested in being part of it, so what is the process? Like, what do they have to do to be part of the Global South Asian Women community?
So Global South Asian Women, we have kept it very normal. Earlier, we used to have every week, every Wednesday, we used to have a meetup, online meetup, where we used to talk about different things. We have spoken about things you won't even imagine. Like, it's a safe space. So people come and they speak about, like, we have started from menopause to abuse, and we have sang in there, and we have had fun. Women love that. But since COVID and after COVID, since the recession started, people have their own issues, and they're going through like work issues, family issues, and everything. So they can't give that much time. We've stopped it for some time. We have kept it now, but we will be starting it soon. How to join it? We have a Facebook page. You can go there, join the group. We have WhatsApp groups. You can join. We have 3 WhatsApp groups. We have North, East, and West for now. We don't have a South one. The East West take care of it. We have a lot. We have a lot of members, and we are trying to help them to need basis. Like, you want something, you tell us, and we'll provide you. We're having an event coming up on April 26th. I don't know if this will be aired before or after. You can attend the event, and we do it once a year just to bring everyone together so they can network, they can know each other. But that doesn't stop you. You can go on the Facebook page, you can check each other. There are a few things we want to do. We want to create a directory for GSAW women where you can access, see their professions, and whoever you want to access, you can easily do, which will be wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's hope good things coming.
Yeah, even we'll share the event on our page. As you said,
nice.
we're not sure if it'll air before that because we want to do it for another special event.
Yeah, we definitely want to identify, those personalities
Who
and
wants to talk
about their journey as well.
Yeah.
Because knowing your journey itself is like so good, like diverse, and Now let's move on to your political career, because I know that since I'm in Pickering, I've seen you in Pickering, standing for the elections. I don't know what post you stood for, but can you talk more about it? How was your experience, being in the municipal election? So how did that, go? What was your experience like there?
So I'm very impulsive. Right? Like I told you, back home, my dad is a politician. We've always been in the community. So before the municipal elections, I think a year or two before that, I got my citizenship. And I was working in the community. I was working with seniors, and they were going through a hell of a lot of issues. And it was COVID too, and nobody heard them. They wanted meetups because they're feeling lonely, and they wanted places where they could come and meet their friends or get out of the house, and they wanted it to be walking distance, and they had so many things that they laid out in front of me, and I was like, why is nobody taking any action for this? And so I met up with the councillors, municipality, and I was talking to them, and they were like, oh, this is not going to happen. Oh, that is not happening. And I got so upset when the municipal elections were announced. I woke up a month ahead, and I told my husband, okay, I think I need to run because I cannot hear this anymore. I want that change. I have to bring that change. So I go, and today I tell him I'm running. Tomorrow I go, I fill up the form, and I submit. And imagine in a city where I've just moved, and a country where I've just become a citizen, and I'm like, I'm going and knocking at the door, and I'm telling people, okay, vote for me. You don't know me, but just vote for me.
Yeah.
It was a very good experience. I had so much support, but people have lived there. Right. And sometimes it's not about what qualification. A lot of people loved me because I had the background that I did. I had my MBA, I had masters. They'd seen me work with seniors. So they were very, very supportive. But at the end, it's like somebody who grew up around them. You want to favor them, or you want to favor somebody new who deep down will do good for you. So it was difficult, and I lost, but it gave me a good experience. It taught me a lot of things. It opened my door into politics. Now I have access to the municipality. I know where to knock the door, where to knock if I need something done. I don't have to be there to get it done right now, but at least they're scared of me that, if you don't let this person, if you don't give what she wants, she's going to just find a way, or she's going to run up against me.
Right.
And at least make her voice felt. So every time I had an interview during my election, every time I went on a debate or I had a gathering, I spoke about all these issues, and at least things were done. There are senior communities that have opened. There are places that have opened for seniors. Not as much as I would have liked, but at least there's progress. Right?
So your main mission was basically for seniors and to help them out in the community
at that
time.
Point.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Now it is like I try to help people who don't know what channels to go through. I help them find those channels. I help them find those resources.
I was just wondering, like, I feel so connected to that because my dad is also into politics
See?
back in India.
Now I'm waiting for you to jump into it.
Right? So
you never know.
You never know. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's that drive, to help people. If you
Yeah.
have that drive, I think you're fit to be in politics. It's not about, what party are you in or anything of that sort, right? It's just that, oh, are you doing anything good to the community? Then you are a right fit. And I can totally see that in you
Yeah.
too. Because I've seen so closely, because my dad, when I was little, I could totally remember, like, people coming to our house with their problems, and then my dad is helping them. So I've seen that. And when you were talking about it, I can definitely like relate
You
to
can
that.
relate, yeah, because you've lived that life. Like I
Exactly.
say, you've been trained from the very young age.
True.
Like my dad was into politics since the time I can remember. I grew up, people used to come to my house. I'm very young. I opened the door for them and they're calling me Amma. That means mother
Yeah.
in Kannada, right? And I come home, I come to my mom and I'm like, why is this person calling me mom? Do I look that old? Like I'm a little kid. And she's like, no, that's the respect, because your dad is helping them out. You have to respect them back. They taught me, like, they didn't teach me to be arrogant. They taught me be humble, be nice, be down to earth. They're giving you so much respect. Show them that respect back. So I feel like I want to give my kids, I hope I've given my kids the same thing. But that's where, your values, you're drilling it into your kids, you're drilling it into yourself. And that's where you want to help your community. I feel so happy and proud to be born to my parents, because that's what they taught me. And even now when I go back, it's the same kind of respect I get from everyone around them.
Yeah.
So,
And it's not like, oh, nobody has to tell you, because you would have seen them and you would have,
Followed
followed
them,
them,
right?
and it just comes naturally, I feel, right?
Yeah.
Like by blood, they say, maybe. Yeah, that's so true.
Oh, all my siblings, they're in one way or the other connected to the community. And we are like crazy. Like, we jump in and we are like, helping out, and we're doing this and that. Yeah, sometimes we are overboard, but it is what it is.
Do you see these qualities in your kids as well?
I do. Like, we do like, Ramadan just passed. We do charity during Ramadan, and we send food to people who cannot afford it, or people who can afford it but don't have, they have need for it. So my kids love to help out in all that. And if they see somebody in need, obviously, like, because they're young, they need permission. They come back and they're like, oh, they discuss it with us, but they want to help out. They do already. Like, they are like, they have their own pocket money. They're like, can I please give this person? And every time there's a food drive, they're always ahead of it. So I see that in them. And like you said, you keep doing that in your family. It's not what, like, actions speak louder than words. And that's true in every sense.
So if anybody who's wanting to help or give back to the community, do you have any advice for them?
Do it if you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not by force, right? If you feel like helping, even a penny can help. If you don't feel like helping in cash, do it in kind. Like, helping somebody cross the road, helping somebody reach a place, helping, just like, holding a person if they're falling. It could mean a number of things. Don't go out of your way, putting yourself in trouble, putting yourself in hardship to help somebody. That's the wrong way of doing it. You first need to be self-sufficient. I always give this example to people.
So, Ayesha, you mentioned that, during Ramzan and all, you go for food banks and all. So, with this current age and time where, this inflation is high, unemployment is high, a lot of people are struggling. If somebody wants to donate to a food bank, what are some of the processes or steps they can take in order to go and help people?
So the simplest thing that you can do is, you don't need to register, you don't need to do anything. If you have an access, most of the grocery stores have a bin there where you can put it for the food bank. All the food banks keep it there. But if you want to do it more than that, St. Paul's on the Hills has a food bank in Pickering. Whitby has a lot of, all the churches have food banks, or I think even the community centers, they have a bin which they keep it for them to be helped. I help two particular organizations. One is St. Paul's on the Hill, another one is APC Church on Notion Road. So those are two of my places. And usually what people do is, if they're having an event, they ask the invitees to bring a can of food or something. They collect it and then they drop it off to these food banks. The numbers are available. If you go, you just click food banks, it's available. There is Durham Feed the Need as well in Whitby, which is huge. You can drop it off there. And yeah, it's available everywhere if you want to access it.
So no registration and
No
stuff is
registration, yeah.
necessary. Okay. That's amazing.
And if it is organizations who need to help in a big way,
Yeah.
if you don't know where to go, just contact me and I'll help you out with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do see that in the employers who we are working for. We
They
always
do.
have
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And also we have a community where we both are members of. It's for a specific place in India. So even them, when they organize events, they have those bins what you're talking
Exactly.
about. So
Yeah.
I think they help the Mississauga food bank or something like that. Yeah.
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 So
That's
you have
amazing.
toy drives,
Mm.
food drives, clothes
Yeah.
drives,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Everyone
together.
is trying to help
Yeah.
everyone.
no,
Yeah.
that's true.
And which is amazing, right? That's how your community grows.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, now that you were part of municipal political involvement, do you see yourself becoming one of our very famous politicians?
I want to say no, but
Okay.
I've learned to say never say never.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
So you never know, tomorrow I might wake up and I'm like, oh, this person is not doing this properly. Let me run against
Yeah.
them. Like,
Yeah.
it could happen. Knowing me,
Yeah.
I don't want to say I would never.
Yeah.
But right now, politics is not the most important thing. If I can find people who can take the projects that I am doing and make them their priority, I don't have a problem. I just want that voice to travel from the people who I'm taking them to the table where it makes a difference. So that is what I want. So if it is happening, whichever way it is, whether I'm a politician, whether I'm not a politician, I'm happy. But I feel like I fit better at the bureaucratic side of things. So maybe that's where I would like to be as of now. But again, you never know.
Yeah.
What the future brings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this was amazing. This was such a insightful conversation we had with you.
It got a little serious. I thought, we're gonna keep it a little more light.
That's why this will be.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the light segment.
Oh,
It's
we have
called
another one.
Fast Five with the Rais. So we're going to ask you 5 questions. You just answer us what comes into your mind first.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this was a surprise.
Yeah,
this is a surprise.
Okay. So first question. So we generally ask this to all of them. What do you like the most about Canada?
The weather. I know people will think I'm crazy, but it is the weather. I love snow.
Okay.
Like, I feel everything looks so beautiful when it snows.
The beautiful white.
Yes, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a white blanket.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Even in Bangalore, we have this artificial snow.
In Snow World.
I've never gone there
Yeah.
because I always thought like it was like very sticky and all that, and I'm like, oh, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second question: what's the best piece of advice you have received so far?
Be yourself, and whatever you do, don't step on somebody else's toes. If you're planning to do good, it'll always happen. So just be yourself.
What's one habit of yours your family and friends tease you about?
Oh my God. So I have this habit, like, I am so busy a lot of times because like everything that I do, I have to move from one role into another, like in not even minutes, seconds, right? So when my kids come, I'm watching a cartoon, a comedy show or something. This is something I'm always teased about. So I'm in the moment, right? I'm laughing. And then suddenly I turn my gaze to something else and I'm like it goes from this to this.
Yeah.
my kids are like, how do you do that? Like, I'm laughing, but I'm like, I'm timing it. I haven't practiced that. It's come like automatically. So I'm laughing at this moment. I'm like full of laughs. And then I'm
Yeah.
like that moment is gone.
Yeah.
I'm done. I have to concentrate on something else now. So I'm like, and this happens so many times. They're like, are you not happy about it? I'm like, I'm so thrilled. Then why did you suddenly
React.
your reaction like
Switched.
you're switched?
Yeah.
So it's not because I don't mean it. I'm meaning it at that moment. I'm really happy, and then I'm like,
Yeah. It's just
Because-
it's like you want to do the next
focused.
thing now.
Like I'm
Yeah.
very focused in
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens a lot.
Okay. So the fourth question: what's your go-to way of relaxing after a busy day?
I play games.
Oh, what games?
I play Tetris. I play Candy Crush.
Oh.
Like, because you don't need a brainer for that. You're
Correct.
just going to like, yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, nice.
I have like I've reached thousands of levels. Like if you see my game,
Fun, yeah.
like I need that. It's been tough for me, or if I've had a tough case which I cannot share with anyone, I want to like not focus. Either I watch TV where it has to be a comedy show, not a serious one, or I'm just playing Tetris. And I like to unwind. I do those things.
Okay. That's
to
good.
know.
Good to know that it's something different, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah. So
Nobody
far,
knows.
at least.
Yeah, so
yeah,
far,
we have not
I have
heard,
anything.
playing
I mean,
games.
Candy Crush, I think even I used to.
Because you don't need logic there. You don't need like
Just
you're
move.
just like
It's fun.
Yeah, true.
I put on music and just
Yeah.
Candy Crush. Go for it. Like
Yeah.
I have top scores
Yeah.
because I play so much.
You're mastering in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since you're from Bangalore, what is your favorite dish?
Bisi bele bhat. I love biryani. Like it's my go-to. I can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm crazy about it. But if you ask me what is one thing Bangalore, oh, masala puri. People don't know what masala puri
We do.
is. And bisi bele bhat. Oh my god. But I don't want somebody mixing sambar and rice and giving it to me like bisi bele bhat.
No.
I get so upset. I'm like,
Yeah.
who told you this is
Yeah,
bisi
this is
bele bhat?
not.
This is not. And you don't get masala puri here. Like at
Now
least
we
a
do.
lot of places.
Yeah.
So, if you had to describe your journey in one word, what would you say?
Never thought of it. That really in one word?
Yep.
I can't say it in one word for sure. If I have to say it one word, I would say it's been amazing. But I always believe lot to learn. Lot to learn.
Yeah. But I feel your journey is very fulfilling.
yeah.
See, that would be too.
From
Yeah.
what we heard.
Yeah,
and that's-
exactly. She's right. From what you've told us, it's very fulfilling. You know, for us, we always say our podcast, even if it helps somebody,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. So I feel, no, for you, since you've helped so many people, I somehow feel your journey is very
Yeah.
fulfilling. No matter what, I know your learning is definitely going to take place,
Yeah, yeah.
but your journey is fulfilling.
I still feel there is something that I'm yet to achieve. Like I feel it's too early, and I'm thankful for whatever I've had. And that's one word I want to say. I'm thankful for where I am and what I do and the energy, the help, the growth that I've got. I'm thankful for Almighty for giving me that, whichever Almighty that might be. Like, you know, I'm always thankful. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So the conversation was amazing. We really enjoyed every bit of talking to you, starting from mental health to your community service, your food bank drive, you know, everything was amazing. It was beautiful conversation, very insightful, very meaningful. You know, do you have anything to tell to our listeners?
Yeah, I want to say, like, when you're enjoying life, it doesn't look like you're trying too hard. So you want to do so many things, but don't forget to enjoy your life. When you're enjoying it, it becomes like a cakewalk, right? You meet nice people, and I always say, yes, there is a lot that people say they learn from me, but I learn from each and every person I meet every day because they have something to share. Everybody is unique. And start understanding what your worth, like what's your worth, and understand what others are bringing to the table as well. Be appreciative, and life becomes easy for you. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you are working in mental health and you are also helping out the community, do you have a social media handle where people can reach out to you,
Oh yeah.
just in case?
Yeah, I have my Facebook, I have LinkedIn, I have Instagram, and if somebody wants to reach out to my not for profit, it's Public Allies, as in public, PUBLIC, allies, ALLIES dot inc @gmail.com.
Okay.
So they can
Awesome.
always reach out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that, Aisha. So just want to know, how was your experience overall today in our podcast?
Oh, I enjoyed it. Like, it didn't look like an interview. It almost looked like I'm sitting and talking to my friends.
Yeah.
And you make it comfortable, you make it nice. And I think I mentioned this to Pranita. It's my life that I'm
Yes.
talking about. So
Exactly.
there's no brainer there.
Yes, absolutely.
It is what I've lived, what I'm going to talk about. So there's nothing to hide. And I've always spoken freely about mental health, what I've gone through and what I go through. Blessed to have the people that I have who are very supportive, blessed to find new friends and new people in my life. So it's the blessings that you count.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, there was so much of learning, even though, yes, we did have a very fun conversation here, but knowing a lot, specifically about mental health, where people can reach out, even about the community, when you started telling us how, when you come, where all you can go and, get help from.
Yeah.
This has definitely been a very insightful conversation with you today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
and the conversation doesn't help. You're helping so many people, you're bringing so many different kind of personalities, showing what can be done. Everyone has a unique approach and they can approach life like they want to and still be successful. So yeah, you're doing amazing for the community
Thank
too.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you. Yeah, and I must say this Mother's Day episode wouldn't have been better than this. And
Yep.
we are so proud that we found you and
Aw.
we were able to connect with you and talk to you. And today, like, it almost felt like we were, on your journey. Like, listening to you was
Yeah.
so inspiring, I must say.
Uh-huh.
And definitely, I'm sure our listeners would have loved this. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming here and being with us today, and the time you have given and all the informations you have shared. I'm sure it's gonna reach many out there, and it is gonna help them. And I'm sure you will more and more. I think, and people, I would say, like, who would come and reach out to you for help.
Always
It's-
there, always
yeah.
ready, happy to help. And I feel like the only thing I'll ask of them is like, if you find help, pass it on. Like,
Yeah.
help somebody else and keep it going in the
Exactly.
community. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aisha.
Mm.
And as a token of appreciation from the Rai Connect,
I
yeah,
didn't
We have
need
a little
this.
something for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a bag, right? Oh, that's really sweet of you guys.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mm.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in. If you like our episode, don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And do let us know how we did in our podcast today in the comments below.
And if you have a story to share, please reach out to us at therightconnect@outlook.com. Until next time, I'm Sakshita and this is Pranita signing off from The Rai Connect, where stories inspire and journeys unite.
Thank you.